All right, guys, welcome back to the shack. Today, we're going to be working on a project that I got sent to me yesterday. I had a lady message me yesterday afternoon, sent me a picture from Etsy, and she's like, hey, I need this by Monday. Is this something that you can do? And you guys know that I like it when I can get a customer-inspired project to design. And also, I give people a little better deal when it's something that I can do videos on. So here we are today. We're going to be doing a baby announcement sign for a lady. And this is what she sent me up here. It's kind of a go-by she found on Etsy. So we're going to draw from that and come up with a design, build it in LightBurn, cut it out of some of this pre-finished ply right here, which I have fell in love with when it comes to painted jobs. So stick around and I'm going to walk you through real briefly the steps that it takes to go from a piece of plywood like this, and we're going to make it end up looking like this guy. So stick around and we're going to get started. All right, guys, not wasting any time in here in LightBurn. I've got some different shapes. This is the one that I chose for this project here. I'm just setting the size around 14 inches. I think that's a good size as far as the width goes when you're mounting stuff to a door. Any wider than that, it can be problematic. Some of the graphics here, I've used PNGs that I found on the internet. Some of these I've had. Some of them I have modified over the years for my own use. So all I'm doing now is putting it together, trying to come up with a font mixture that looks good with the horns. The lady basically gave me creative authority over this, so I could basically design it as if it was, for my own kid, and that's what I'm doing. So I did do a little bit of an offset right there for those. I'm offsetting it inward, 1/2 millimeter. And what that's for is that's to try to avoid my little score lines being highly visible when I glue these cutout parts on there. And I'm just trying to nest everything on there to not waste a whole lot of plywood, but I'm not trying to be too sparing because I have piles of the stuff, like extra little scrappy pieces laying everywhere. This material cost me $22 a sheet for a 4x8 foot sheet. And so I don't have to be overly particular because it's really cheap for what I get out of it, because a 4x8 sheet goes a long way when you're dealing with lasers. Now for this little graphic right here, I decided the best way for me to do this was just to trace this thing and make my own shape. So I imported the picture that she sent me, and I'm just throwing a bunch of shapes together, welding them together, doing a little bit of node editing. Lots of new tools in the new version 2 LightBurn. It's still got a few bugs in it, and I've been told they're working on those. But all together, I went ahead and decided to update and start using it to, just go in here and check all the features and make sure everything still works like it's supposed to. And basically, it's working fine. I did have a few hang-ups with the Atom Stack X40 Max. I hardly ever have any hang-ups, so it's probably got something to do with the new LightBurn. But hopefully they'll get that resolved here soon. And this is just me throwing this graphic together, trying to make it look as good as I can. I don't do hand drawn, so I'm having to computer design all of these shapes with some heavy node editing and everything with these circles and rectangles to make it look like a shotgun shell here. So it takes me a little while, but eventually I get everything lined up, and you'll see I'm incorporating node editing, all that. So for you guys that think I just download everything, here you go. Not everything is downloaded. And those little handlebars get a little annoying sometimes, trying to figure out which one to move. I'm still not an expert when it comes to those guys. But that's what we do there. I get that working. I've got a usable shotgun shell. I'm just going to put some text on here. Once I get the text sized correctly, I am going to distribute it using the little distribute tool up at the top, and just kind of nest it in there to where it fits like it needs to be, and we're good to go. I started off with this, and what I was going to do was I was going to do one piece. There's the other parts, or those other parts got cut out while we were designing the other half. So that's if you ever wonder what I do with all my downtime, I do it in phases so that while I'm doing stuff like this, the laser's actually over there running. So this material does wipe off really good with just a little bit of rubbing alcohol. That's what I'm doing now, is cleaning this piece up, getting it prepped, because it does get a little bit of stain right around those heavy engraves. So I have to get that off of there. But anyway, we got over here in LightBurn. I've got this other piece set up. And what I want to do is I want to set this thing to where when I cut it out, I can paint it and then bring it back in here and engrave it after it's been painted. So that's what I'm doing now, is I'm taping my material to the honeycomb, and then I use those little magnets also on the actual honeycomb part to kind of help hold the tape and not to let this move, because I want to be able to cut this out and then use that place where I cut it out from as kind of a jig to go back and engrave it once I get it done. And these little things you see right here, this is the back section of my design, and those little notches are basically to hold the twine. I'll show you a little more about how that works once we start putting everything together, but this was something I had never seen anybody do, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and try this. So getting those pieces cut out, you'll notice here that after I cut out these two pieces of the shotgun shell, I cut out the red and the gold part separately and painted those, and now I'm going to go back and engrave all the text on there. Because those two pieces are going to be glued to the back part, and then the string's going to connect to the back of them, not by glue or tape or anything like that. So you'll see that in a little bit. But here we are. While that's working, I'm going to go ahead and be gluing the letters onto the top part. And you can see I used my green tape to hold the letters. Just got them on there, got them glued up. Once the other part got through engraving, these two pieces are just laying side by side. I haven't got them on the backers yet, but I took everything outside, put a little clear coat on there, let it dry. Now we're going to attach the back plates to it. I've got some glue on there, so I use my little binder clamps, and these are literally like $5 packs of binder clips from the Dollar Tree. I mean, these things work great when you're working with 1/8 and 1/4 plywood. They're a lot cheaper than like legit clamps. They're just easy to use and cheap. I got a box full of those things. So you see my little hook sets things there, and those are going to be what holds the twine in between the two pieces. So I'm going to glue all of this together and wipe off any excess glue, of course, making sure everything's lined up good. And I'm going to clip these together, and those will have to sit in timeout for a little while at least until the glue sets enough to be held and manipulated. So while I'm doing that, I'll be doing something else. But then once I get everything done, of course, you can see I put my QR code on the back of that top piece, and now I'm just fishing that twine. I tie a knot in the end of the twine and then use these little hooks to kind of hold it right there. And then once I get the twine measured and I get it exactly the length it needs to be and everything's trimmed up and nice, what I do is I take some thick super glue and glue it into that little trough and then hit it with some activator, and voila, it's there. So to me, that just looks cool. It's clean. That little loop is going to like add some strength to that glue, and I just think it looks cool. When you look at it, it's like, wow, that took a little bit of engineering to do. So now I'm putting me a couple of little swivels on the back of it right there, and I'm going to be using a wire hanger from this little kit that I picked up. I found these things on sale at Tractor Supply. That little box there has all kinds of connectors, and I got them for like $3 a piece. And I bought every one that Tractor Supply had that day, so I've got, I think, 10 or 15 of those little boxes still left. All right, guys, so there you have it. I will be dropping links to all the materials and things that I used in this project down below if you want to check those out. Before you asked about the plywood, I get this stuff here locally at Rugby Architectural Supply. It's a chain store, but they have limited locations. There's the one near me. I will drop a link down below. You can go check them out, see if there's a location near you. But this stuff is reasonably cheap at like $22 a sheet, and does a good job. So I'll drop a link for that down below. The other stuff is just simply going to be the glues, the paints, anything you saw me use in the video. If I do forget to put a link to it down below, just send me a message, drop me a comment, and I'll try to update that. But I'm going to try to put all this stuff in here, so if you want to create one of these yourself, you can go out and make one. So that's going to do it for today, guys. Like I said, a little bit of a customer-inspired project that I wanted to share with you guys. So I hope you like the project, and hopefully there'll be more to come as we get closer and closer to being full-time here in the shop. I'm going to have more and more ideas to pass along to you guys. So if you hadn't already, hit that subscribe button, like, notification bell, all those cool things. And until next time, be safe and have a good day.